Hi, everybody. Michaela here, Executive Director of the Dupree Center. And I've got a book coming out in August with Lisa Slayton. And we wanted to spend a little bit of time just introducing you to our partnership. So, Lisa, do you remember when we first met?
I do. I think the first in-person meeting, we knew about each other before we met, but the first in-person meeting was at an event in Atlanta at the end of 2019, beginning of 2020, a Quran Forum gathering, and you were on a panel with me.
Yeah, and afterwards, you were like all vibrant and lively. You came up afterwards and you're like, "You're awesome. Let's do more things together." And I was like, "Yeah, that feels right. There's
Yeah,
a vibe here." And so much so that then, we knew each other professionally in different spaces, but we were also part of this prayer group. And that prayer group's been meeting for goodness, it's 3 going on 4 years now, once a
yeah,
month. So that really deepened our friendship, our relationship, our sense of knowledge about each other's work. And it's where I kind of really got to know how deep your leadership and vocational coaching frameworks were, and how many folks that you were helping in seasons of deep disruption, and how well those complemented the frameworks I had been developing in our cohort programs at Road Ahead that were helping people in transition. So it was sort of out of this that sometimes I'd say, okay, I knew I was working on this book. I had this idea in my head, and I'd send you a text and I'd be like, Lisa, what do you think of this? Or who would you read on this? And I was sending you all that. And then do you remember what you said back to me?
I said I remember the conversation distinctly, and you kind of we can we talk about this? And I said sure, and we got on a call, and you really described for me what you wanted to write, and I think I was joking, half joking, maybe not joking, when I said if you're writing that book, I want to write it with you, and that started a conversation and a season of discernment for both of us to say, okay, do we really want to do this together?
Yeah. And it's an interesting pairing. I mean, we have a lot of similarities and then some differences, and
Yeah.
you sort of come at things, from a very practitioner level. I would say that I've got the practitioner and scholar thing going on, but you've got these deep frameworks that are sort of born out of a career of long refinement, actually.
Yeah.
And so I think in there is this secret sauce, but it did require quite a bit of discernment. Like, is this going to work? We're friends. Are we going to stay friends at the end? We both have strong personalities, and I think it ended up kind of creating a unique process for us as a writing team, though.
Yeah, it did. We started early on, and began just testing a way of doing this more iteratively, more generatively. Often, when two people write a book together, it's okay. You take these 4 chapters, and I'll take these 4 chapters, and then some poor editor has the responsibility of trying to make it all coherent. And we decided not to do that,
Yeah,
and it was, we both gave inputs in, and then just, I mean, we had some chapters, if you remember, we had 25 or 30, even 35 drafts because of
yeah,
the iterative process. That got smaller as we got closer to deadline, but not surprising there. And so I think it resulted in a much better book, and
yeah,
it was really hard at times and very messy, and I
yeah.
think we both learned a lot through the process as well.
Yeah, I would agree. It was one of the hardest things I've ever done, and it is a book that I feel incredibly proud of. It's
Yeah,
I mean, yes, I think it's good, and I think we got some good things. But when I look at it, I'm like, oh, this is helpful. And when some of our early readers took a look at it, they were like, this is helpful. And so
yeah,
I think that our shared conviction that the braiding of our individual gifts together could best serve people who find themselves in places of transition, disruption,
yeah.
confronting any number of places of change. I think that was the real commitment, right?
Yeah, it definitely was. And if you think about it, the research says that we're in we go through some kind of a transition about every year or so. And some of them are small, some of them are big, a few of them over the
Yeah.
course of a lifetime are big. So that really means that, all of us are in a season of transition, coming out of a season of transition, going into a new season of transition. And so the book, I think is really for everybody who wants to learn how to navigate those transitions without falling apart in the process. I think that's what we're trying to accomplish.
Totally agree. Can't wait for you all. Now I'm pointing at you, watching and listening to check the book out. And thanks for getting to know Lisa and I a bit.